What happens when the number 2 ranked team in 3A plays the number 2 ranked team in 4A? Last night, the Bellevue Wolverines took on the Lake Stevens Vikings in Week 2 of Washington High School football, and it came down to the wire.
There is no way!
3A Bellevue looked to take down the Vikings for a second year in a row, but Lake Stevens was hungry for revenge and fired up after beating the defending 4A state champs in Week 1 on a game-winning touchdown. It was a slow start to the game with both defenses holding it down, but early in the second quarter we got our first score of the night when Javian Farrell rushed one in for Lake Stevens. Bellevue, starting at their own 6-yard line on their next drive, then moved the ball all the way down the field, and they capped off the drive with a touchdown pass from Kaysen Carta to 3-star Nick Nora. With 30 seconds left in the half, Matt Curran then came up with a clutch pick for Bellevue, and Kaysen found Nick again, who made a snag in the end zone to extend Bellevue's lead by 7 going into halftime. But Lake Stevens wasn't going to let what happened last year happen again. On their first drive of the second half, Blake Moser led the Vikings down the field, and they tied it up after this crafty touchdown run from Kekoa Okiyama. We headed into the fourth quarter, and Bellevue worked the ball into the red zone, but Felix Ramsey came up with a pick for the Vikings as the momentum continued to shift in Lake Stevens' direction. Soon after, they capitalized on the turnover as Blake showed off his athleticism on this throw, hitting Max Cook in the end zone to put the Vikings up 7 with 7.5 minutes to go. Bellevue now needed a touchdown to tie it up, and Max Jones pulled a Saquon Barkley on this play, but it was unfortunately called back, and just 2 plays later, Lake Stevens recovered a fumble, making this game look like it was pretty much over. But what if I told you Bellevue then recovered a fumble with 1:39 to go, giving them one last shot to tie it? A combination of good defense and crucial penalties hampered the Wolverines, however, as Lake Stevens closed it out, improving to 2-0 against 2 top 3 teams in the state.